Hello everyone, welcome to the Native Level channel. Before we continue, I just want to mention that people have asked me to address queries that they've had about my last video about Jessica Dottie Whittaker, and I'll address queries that I've gotten about that at the end of this video. So if you want to hear my follow-up on that, please watch this through to the end or skip ahead. Right, but for today, I'm going to look at this little story that I ran into today on Fox News. Dr. Fauci has been seen without his mask covering his orifices, his mouth and his nose, and the story is called Dr. Fauci seems to forget masks are important. Now, I need to let you know, by the way, when I talk about a story, I'm talking about what we've been presented with. This is not my view. I'm not saying this is evidence of what I'm saying. This is what this is something that I feel is worth discussing because it's what people are being fed, and I'd like to share it with you, to ask you to discern it for yourself. Now let's have a look at this story. I've seen a bit of it actually, and I've done a bit of extra research around the matter at hand. So let's have a look at this.
But once Dr. Fauci thought he was off camera, the mask came off literally. Want to see?
Oh, he seems to be continuing on from a conversation. I mean, from a talking point of Dr. Fauci playing baseball. And yeah, that's where we are.
Hypocrisy in action? Look at this. Here's Dr. Fauci sitting within 6 feet of other people in a mostly empty stadium without wearing his mask. Well, he was immediately called on this, but rather than copping to it and being honest, he acted like so many people in power do and scorned anyone criticizing him. Why?
This, I must admit, just seemed like an I gotcha moment, but fortunately I've done a bit of extra research around this story for points that Dr. Fauci has made to combat accusations made against him that he is not socially distancing as he's insisted many people do. He is not wearing his mask properly as many people have been told to do, or else there is evidence to the contrary. So let's have a look.
I think this is sort of mischievous with this thing going around. I had my mask around my chin. I had taken it down. I was totally dehydrated, and I was drinking water, trying to rehydrate myself. And by the way, I was negative COVID literally the day before. So I guess people want to make a thing of that. I wear a mask all the time when I'm outside, to pull it down, to take some sips of water and put it back up again. I guess if people want to make something about that, they can.
Okay, that's interesting. Oh, what's this? 25 virus vaccines being developed in human trials. Let's talk about that another time. Taking a sip of water, that's what his argument. He always wears his mask. People want to make a big thing about this. Okay, it does seem like an attempt to trivialize the image scene, but let's be fair. If you take a sip of water, is that allowed? I imagine it is. Let's continue.
Oh, if people want to make a thing of it, if people want to make a fetish of masks, people are worried about COVID. Lighten up, America. Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. You're Dr. Anthony Fauci? You're one of the reasons our economy is ground to a halt? You're one of the reasons that people are as unhappy as they've ever been? Weren't you just 4 minutes ago lecturing us about how we're immoral if we don't wear masks, but when you do it, it's totally cool because you've got good excuses. You were thirsty. No, you were laughing with your friend. Okay.
Now, Tucker Carlson claims that he was laughing with his friends. Yeah, it looks like that's what's going on in the picture. But if that's the thing, I don't think Fox News did service to Carlson with the evidence against Fauci here, because that's just one picture. So thankfully I've got more, but let's keep it going.
We bet that Dr. Fauci won't have to pay the $1,000 fine that the District of Columbia is now imposing on citizens who don't wear masks in public. Here's the mayor of Washington, air quotes are on that word, Muriel Bowser, announcing the policy. Watch.
I am also today signing a new mayor's order on masks.
If you're under the age of 3, you're actively eating or drinking. Okay, so that would get Fauci off the hook. But where is that drink he was drinking?
And basically what it says is if you leave home, you should wear a mask. This means if you're waiting for a bus, you must have on a mask. If you are ordering food at a restaurant, you must have on a mask. If you're sitting in a cubicle in an open office, you must have on a mask.
Okay. Personally, I think the mask laws are a bit too draconian. If you're under 3 years old, I still think children who like to move about quite a bit, who are older than 3, could do with having the mask off now and then, considering the spread or the, well, as the numbers go at least, the I mean, when I say numbers, I mean even numbers that, sorry, let me say that again. According to the data, scientific data, children are not big spreaders of what's going around. But so far the law is in the, well, this law is going through a phase of being challenged. So let's at least keep challenging it. Let's keep it going. And let me know what you think.
Until the day Joe Biden wins the presidential election, you, Mr. and Mrs. America, must wear masks. Unless, of course, you're the people who wrote the mask ordinance in D.C., the politicians, they exempted themselves. Oh, because they've suspended the rules of science because they're in power and you're not. So shut up and obey until Biden wins. That's the rule. Masks for thee, but not for me.
Okay, so the way Carlson presented that, it did seem like a smug haha aha gotcha moment, and it's drawn back to the right-wing narrative of the left are trying to imprison us. I must say I feel there is definitely merit in that one second, one person's trying to call me. I do think that there is merit in that conclusion. But let's break things down a bit more. Fauci says he was he's wearing the mask so he took the mask off to drink some water. Not only did I not see water, there's another channel that it's a bit strong for some people, but because of the language used, it's called Salty Cracker. But I just passed by that one, and he covered the same story. Okay, it looks like Fauci is doing more than just taking a drink of water. Again, I don't see any drink around him. It looks like his friend by him is not wearing the mask either. Has she been tested? You know, and also, what is it? Fauci's been seen wearing a mask like this. What does that say? I understand people in Miami have been getting $150 fines for doing this. Now, in all fairness, this is an appropriate way to wear the mask, in my opinion. So you aren't restricted to breathing in carbon dioxide over and over again. But this is what's going on now.
You have to wear it properly. If you're not wearing it properly, it's not like you're wearing it at all.
What am I signing here?
It's a civil citation.
Can I not sign it? I don't really want it.
Okay,
You don't want to not sign it, man. That's not
this is the thing, man. It's $110.
$110. All right. So yeah, I just want to take it a bit further because sometimes people on the right like to make their points, but people on the left say, you're just being pompous. But there is a lot more hypocrisy than meets the eye sometimes. All right, so thank you for watching, everyone. And the last thing I'd like to mention with regards to Black Lives Matter versus All Lives Matter, people have said the husband is suspicious. The fiance was potentially the deliverer of the fatal shot of Jessica Dottie Whittaker. That's a very tall claim to make if you have no exact evidence. So I'm not going to run with that one. But somebody said, as the video I showed you last week, that the altercation was racially charged. Somebody said the N-word was used by somebody in Jessica Dottie Whittaker's group. I must say, words are not a good enough reason to make a small child motherless, in my opinion. And ultimately, I feel that Black Lives Matter, the actual three words, Black Lives Matter, it's perfectly fine. It's, but it ought to now, if it's serious about actually empowering people, it ought to embrace all lives matter too, because it's like saying my thumb matters but my hand doesn't. If you keep insisting that people stay divided, you're guilty, I'm not guilty, then naturally Bedlam will be perpetuated. That's my view on that matter. Stevie Wonder even said it. All lives matter, but as long as you realize Black Lives Matter too. Of course. But, you know, what's going on right now is nothing to do, I mean, with the riots, that's nothing to do with justice for a certain minority. That's just to do with overthrowing a system, in my opinion. But I definitely feel there is merit in my view here. But everybody, from everything I've discussed, please let me know what you think. Thank you for coming by again, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.